Oh. Oh, boy. All right, where are you? Are you live? Why is this taking so long? All right, fine, but don't know what the hell's up with YouTube. There we go. Jeezums. Why is it taking so damn long? Good Lord. All right. Oop, pull this up. Turn this off. There we go. Ooh. Shrink. Cannot wait till I can hire a team for all this stuff. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? All right. Okay. While I wait, I am going to work on some other stuff. But I will start out with the fact that I did not get to do, obviously didn't get to post a video for today. Ended up sleeping for a really, really long time. Sleep schedule's been messed up because I've been working on my book. I'm almost finished with the first rewriting pass, and then, which has also kind of been a little bit of a spell check and grammar pass as well, and then going to be going over it one more time to make sure everything's consistent, and then it should be good to publish. The thing is I don't know, because I've never published anything outside of just on like small digital markets, so I'm debating on whether or not it will be also available via paperback. But I kind of would like it to be. I kind of made a little goal that if it reached 100 pages or more, that it would be also published as a paperback. Because then it would be kind of worth the time and energy and effort to actually publish something like that in a physical copy. And it is currently, I think, 94 pages. And by the time I'm done rewriting the last section of it, it will probably be over 100. So, thinking about that. The problem is that I have no idea where to start. I have no idea where to go. I have no idea exactly what to do with that. So it may start out just being available via digital with an audiobook, and then after a while, then it will be made available via paperback after it's made a little bit of money, but I don't know. All right. Hey, we have, I don't know how to, 12B3, but I don't know if that's an L or if that's just like a straight dash. Let's see. Hey, bro, I am the guy who bought your Lego? I thought I was trying to say Lego voice. I was like, did I do something? Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, Yago. Okay. I was like, did I do something for Lego? I know that Lego has approached me before in the past they wanted me to be the main studio for dubbing. It was Yoda Chronicles or whatever. They originally came to me to be the dubbing and voiceover studio for that, but at the time I was like, this was before I moved to this, and I was like, I'm not really prepared to take on a project that big, because they wanted me to do the hiring, the directing, the produce, all that kind of stuff. I was like, I can't tackle something like that. So, really did good work. Well, thank you. I'm glad. Yeah, feel free to share that link if you want to. Here, feel free to share that. I'm giving you full permission. Well, it's good. It's nice. It's nice when I hear that a project has gone over well. I don't normally hear back from every client. I don't normally hear back from everybody who hires me for various things. Most of the time, they kind of just ignore the whole hiring or the whole sharing part, which is why I've had to make kind of a big deal on all my platforms that I sell voiceover from, that it is required that, I know what it's used for, and or I know the name of the project, or I know the name of the person that I'm working with, or this and that, so that I can at least try and search for it. So, that happens. But anyway, so that's good. Yeah, so this is little live stream because I didn't upload a video. I had another reaction video that I was going to upload, not CDawg VA, like everyone is demanding, but it was on. It was a little bit more on the anime topic. There was someone who did a video on getting into anime. And I thought it was incredibly vague, and there was a lot of people that thought it was incredibly vague, and they didn't really answer questions. So I did a reaction to that, but I don't want to do too many reactions in a row, just because I don't want this to be a reaction channel. I mean, I want it to be, me documenting my progress, and I want it to be me answering a lot of questions, more so than just reacting to people's stuff. But didn't mean to paste it twice. Well, I don't see anything, so I'm guessing it's not allowing you to post it. Yeah, because I don't see anything on my end, so it probably didn't allow it to go through. So what I would say is just put the title of the video on here instead, and that might work. Everybody wants you to be a C.VA reaction channel at some point. Yes, I know. Apparently, I do a good job at reviewing his stuff. I'm dying to know what he thinks, because if I find out that he doesn't like it, or he's upset, or he thinks that I'm coming hard on him, that I really don't want to. I really don't want to make him mad, because I think the dude's cool. I don't want to piss him off on any level. I'm hoping I'm just adding to the conversation, not trying to talk over him or trying to change what he's saying or anything like that. And I'm hoping that he's okay with it. So, yeah, that's that. I do plan on doing more, considering a lot of his videos on voiceover. So the thing that makes CDawg VA very interesting is the fact that he is a voice actor, by definition, even though he's already admitted that he's a little bit more of an influencer or a streamer more than a voice actor these days. I think that his videos, because he has such a wide reach, and I think it is something where a lot of people are seeing his stuff, and a lot of people are thinking, oh, I can, voice acting sounds very interesting, and I want to make sure that people have the right idea going into voice acting. So sometimes it's good to tackle those kinds of videos where it has vague areas, or where people might get the wrong idea, or might be setting themselves up for possible failure. on some level, because if someone genuinely wants to go into voice acting, I want them to go in with full understanding of what they're getting into, rather than this idea that it's just going to be all cool and popularity and fun. And no, there's a lot of heartache in there. Let's see. I mean, I can't speak for him, but I think he appreciates it. I hope so. I hope he does. I hope he appreciates it. You want me to send it to you? The video link? Don't worry about it. I mean, I think just putting the. I mean, if you have your channel name and the video title, anyone who wants to see it can go find it. Oh, let's see. Hello, Crazy Ninja. Hyo Ninja. And Hoi Ninja. I don't know if you're trying to say Hoi. Hey, I'm there. I'm new. Wait, I'm here. I don't know why I thought I saw there. I'm here. I'm new. How is it going? It is good. The white screen. You're a very interesting individual. Howdy. This is voice acting. Topics normally. I'm waiting for the Sea-Dog VA and Tim collab. That's going to be a very, very long time. My channel is too small for it to be worth his time. And that's me saying that. Even if he was to offer, I'd be like, you sure, dude? So totally fine. I mean, this is mostly just, voice acting topics anyway, not as much anime. Might be anime sometime soon, maybe. There was so many. I mean, last stream we did, I just kind of like went off on like 1 minute rants on each anime, and I forgot about some that I really genuinely hated, and I think I really do want to do a new show. It's all just anime rants. There was one I was just talking to myself, just reviewing, and it was My Lie in April. I think that's what it is. I get it. And the first half of it is good, but overall, if you asked me what my overall opinion of it is, I hate that anime, and I'm not going to go into too much detail on it right now. But hey, yeah, he does VA roles like once in a while these days, like he recently is voicing in a game. Yeah, cool. Probably check out his IMDb at some point. I think I did not that long ago, and I was actually surprised at how much. I was expecting more on his IMDb than I was actually seeing. So I'm hoping he's picking up some pace on that. What do you think about merging the JAO? What? I'm going to be totally honest. I have no idea what we're talking about. Here. Please clarify. I'll be happy to give my opinion, but I have no idea what you're talking about. This is just how I say hi or hello in live streams. Oh. Okay. Just live streams? Specifically live? So anywhere else? Nowhere else? Interesting. The Trump alien movie. I still need to do a live stream of that. Oh my god. Oh, I haven't seen that. I haven't actually seen that ever since. I mean, it's been so long. It's been like what, 2.5 years since I voiced that. Oh man. Yeah, that was crazy. So every voice actor has one gig that they've done where it is so bad it's good, or so good it's bad kind of thing. I don't know if that's the term, but yeah, that's definitely going to be at least one of mine. I laughed reading the synopsis. I laughed reading some of the lines. I thought it was hilariously stupid. That guy does a lot of, I can't remember his name, but I've done a couple other projects for him. He does a lot of, fast films that are all done, I think, in Unreal. I think they're all done in the Unreal Engine. And he buys assets. He buys motion capture, just motion capture files. And then he just buys voice acting, just pieces it together. And it's so random. It's so silly. But apparently the dude's making money, I guess. But it's just so weird. And when he like messaged me, I was like, yeah, sure, absolutely. So there's going to be some things on my IMDb that, you're going to be like, really? And I'm going to be like, hey, I'm proud of it. That's one of them. How is the voiceover going, my dude? I only read that. How's the voiceover going, my dude? Almost like a Jack Black. It's pretty good. It's been slow because holidays are weird. Holidays are very weird for voice acting. It's either going to be incredibly, incredibly busy, or it's going to be dead slow. And it really just kind of depends on what market you're in. But due to the fact that most places are, and most people are still struggling financially because of the crippled economy and because of the stricter regulations on hiring and having people in studio and having to social distance and working all remotely, things have been incredibly tight for a lot of studios that I would normally work with. There is Omen Studio, which I used to do like 1.5 seasons of their shows a year, basically. So 1 year I'd definitely do a season, and then like the other half would kind of like be either in one season or the following season. So basically like every 8 months or so, 8 or 9 months, they would normally be doing a season. And so I think I've done 3 or 4 seasons with them, but they haven't messaged me in a long time. And I tried emailing them, seeing how things were going, just checking up on them, because I knew that they were, struggling, especially with the whole YouTube cracking down on children's content and making it where they couldn't make any money at all off of it. And that was kind of one of the main ways that they were kind of funding the show. And since a lot of that has kind of gone down, they hadn't really been able to message me and been able to work with me. So there's been a lot of studios like that where the voiceover has been kind of really, really taking a hit, which is why I've been getting into writing and finishing a lot of the books that I had started writing and getting those finished. And there's a lot of also projects like animes and TV shows and movies that I had basically written spec scripts for that doesn't look like it's actually going to be able to be made the way I want it to be made. So instead of just forgetting these projects, converting them into novels and series so that can be, released and produced on some level, even if it's just audiobook. But I would like to do dramatic audiobooks for these kinds of projects. So we'll see. But overall, meh, not so great. So I'm not confident that it's going to be a strong end to the year, but we're less than halfway through the last month, so I don't know. It could pick up in the last couple of weeks. All right. I'm going to head out, see homie later. You're probably already gone, but if you see this later, peace. Hope you had fun doing whatever it was that you went to go do. Okay. Any dream studios you would love to do voiceover for? Oh. There's always going to be the standard Funimation, Warner Brothers, Disney. I mean, I did do one thing for Marvel officially, but it was like a commercial and it doesn't technically count. But so one thing that I do, and this is actually a really good topic, you always have to have a 1 year, a 5 year, and a 10-year plan or goal. And every 1 year, goal, every 1 year list of dreams or goals is going to change very quickly. The 5 might change based on what you get accomplished in the 1 year goal, and then the 10 year will normally not change too much. I used to have major studios on these lists for the 1 to 5 year, but I don't. If I was to keep doing what I do with the smaller studios that I work with, and was to make enough money to make it, worth my time, and it was all fun, and there was no stress, and I made enough money to live off of, it doesn't have to be big studios for me. I would like to do one official anime with Funimation at some point, just one, so I can mark it off a list. If I end up doing more, totally fine. But that is I've actually put that in my 5-year plan. It used to be in my 10-year because it used to be in my 1 year, and then I moved it to my 10-year because I was like, this is never going to happen. And then I got an email to do an audition for Funimation. So I'm on their list on some level. I'm on somebody's list for sending out auditions. I mean, they only sent me one, but that does mean that I am in their Rolodex of talent on some level. So it became a little bit more of a realistic goal, so I put it into 5. It seems like in order to really get that done, get that finished, get that accomplished, I would need to take more anime-specific workshops, which that has been moved into the 1 year. So this upcoming year, I plan on taking more anime-related ADR dubbing workshops. Just trying to find the right ones. I just finished doing some coaching with. His name is on the tip of my tongue, and I think this is how it's said. I'm not sure. It's Orion Akaba. I think that's how you say his name. I'm not positive, and if that's not it, I'm sorry. But been doing some coaching with him. He helped me redo my demos to a more professional level, and I use quotes because, I mean, listening back to my demo, and I am going to do a video on this, but listening back to my demos, the ones that I self-produced, there's not that much difference between them. His sound effects and his music is way more muted, and the voiceover kind of goes between quiet to really, really loud without a lot of level balancing. So due to the fact that I haven't really, and it was incredibly expensive, but I wanted to have something that I could say, okay, it's not my demos, which is always a question, like how much of this is my demos. So went ahead and had to get that done. I think it was like for both the commercial and for the character demo, which I knew that the commercial demo was going to be one that I definitely needed help with, because I don't know what a good commercial demo is. I don't do enough commercial work. But he's been doing this longer, and he does demo production. He does like more mixing and mastering on a professional level. So I figured his opinion, at least his opinion, would be worth the time and money. But again, listening back to what he did and what I did, especially when it came to the commercial demo, there's actually not that much difference. I think they're pretty much the same as far as quality, as far as like the way it's done. There might be a little less sharpness in mine versus his, but they're very, very close. I'm gonna do a whole video listening to them side by side. I actually it was a goal of mine to actually record some segments and some voices and some characters and some lines that I had in my other demos, so that I could actually take them and do them side by side and look at the differences. So that's a video that we're going to be doing. But outside of that, goals and studios, I mean, Funimation is a big one, but things like Marvel, DreamWorks, Disney, Warner Brothers, Cartoon Network, I really don't care too much. Not that, if they came to me, I'd turn my nose to them. But it's, after seeing that the independent studio market, the independent studios, are now able to pretty much compete with large studios as far as writing, as far as like production, as far as like reaching their audience and being funny and have, all this kind of stuff. It really no longer matters to me whether or not I am working with major studios or not. And I don't really think that it's a healthy thing to constantly shoot for, because if you never achieve it, then you're going to feel like you failed. But, if I set my goal to just make enough money and have fun, pretty much anything within that structure, anything within that box, is a success. So it's a hard one to answer. Yeah, like only live streams and stuff. Okay, cool. That's for the Ahoy thing. Oi, or Hoy. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Ironically, what? Ironically, today before this stream, I was watching the clip of you on the Tonight Show in 2011. Oh, that'll always haunt me. Wait, has anyone been getting ads for... Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, for the AI voiceover software. I keep getting them. Should I be concerned? So... there's a lot of people, and I was going to do a whole video on this, and I may still. There's a lot of people that have been getting very concerned about the AI voiceover stuff. When it comes to doing things like infomercials or doing flat, dry reads, maybe. Because the AI is not going to know. So if you take any line, and this is an acting and a voice acting trick, not really trick, but practice, where you can take any line and there are thousands of different ways you can deliver that line. A robot is never, or at least not until we get to actual intelligence for, we're at artificial intelligence that can simulate intelligence. Then we've had that for a while, but we're not actually getting to a point of actual intelligence where they have a personality and they can choose to deliver a line however they want to deliver it. Until we get to that point, no, it's not going to be a problem. When it comes to doing character work, video game, actual voice actors are always going to have, top billing. They're always going to have, the number one seat. The only people that are actually going to be going for something like that are the people that don't know the difference and the people that are cheap. And those are the kind of clients that you probably don't want to work with anyway and would be paying you enough to make it worth your time. Because in those AI programs, if you type in a line, no matter how many times you render it, it's going to come out the exact same way. So if you have a character screaming, they're going to be delivering the line exactly the same way if it's through the AI. If you have a human, we could say it like all 1,000 different kinds of ways because we actually cannot deliver it exactly the same way every time. Our brains and our personality just pretty much won't allow it. So I would not be concerned, definitely not for the foreseeable future. I don't think within 20 years it's going to be a problem. But it's probably going to take a chunk of the smaller market. There's a lot of YouTube videos that I see where instead of getting a voice actor, and these are like YouTube videos that basically just kind of do the same thing that everyone else is doing, where it was like top 5. Bleh. A lot of those kind of channels that are just kind of like mass produced by YouTube's content creating studios, they're going to kind of go for that kind of thing because they can make the investment early, and then for the rest of, however long, they don't got to pay a voice actor. So that kind of stuff, yes, but for the better work, no. People that actually are autistic and are actually not autistic, artistic, that are actually creating content, and they know what they're doing. They're good writers. They're good producers. They want it to be successful. They're going to go for voice actors every single time because they would rather work with people. So not something I would be concerned about. Dude, you are a serious talent. We voiced the same video game. Tony and Clyde. Oh, shit. I still haven't played that. Oh, they sent me like a link, and I don't think I downloaded it yet. I want to take it to my family. Look, I'm on the Switch. Which I think there are actually already 2 games of mine that are on the Switch. But this was one. It was like a twin stick shooter, and I was super excited. Let me know down below which character you play, because I think originally they just wanted me to do one character. I don't remember which one it was. I got all the names confused. It was a while ago. And then they were like, hey, can you also do, this kind of voice, this kind of voice, this kind of voice? And so I think I do like 5, maybe 8 voices for the game. So I do a lot in there. Good on you, man. I think they also came to me to do like some of the commercial voiceover. I don't remember. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I liked working with them. They keep coming back to me for various small projects every now and then. So good studio, good people, lots of fun. Hope you had fun as well. Hey, Mr. Tim, Mr. Timmy. I don't know why I'm doing that voice. Didn't know you were going to doing one of these. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty much fair at this point that if I haven't uploaded a video, that I'll pretty much be doing a live stream to make up for it. That's a goal that I'm trying to set for myself, especially considering I've been just so scatterbrained from trying to finish writing the book and get it released before the end of the year. I want to have it released before Christmas, or at least at Christmas, but I can't promise anything. I just can't, because it's the whole technical side of what platform to launch it on to get the most coverage, that I can also do audiobook and physical as well as digital copies. That I'm trying to work out, and so I'm having to watch a lot of videos, be up late, trying to understand that side of the business. And I don't have the money to hire anybody, so that's going to take a while. Yeah, the first way you said is right. Okay, cool. Do you happen to know what process chain... What? Do you happen to know what processing chain places like Funimation use? I mean, are you talking about like in their studios? I haven't worked with a daisy chain system in a long time. I'm actually not a fan of them personally, just because it's more of an old-fashioned way of doing stuff. And the more connections, the more different things you hook something in, sometimes the less, the dirtier the sound can end up being, because you're introducing a whole bunch of different ways of converting the sound, so it's being translated over and over and over again, and so you're losing a little bit of the cleanness of the sound by the time it gets there. So it's hard to say. So unless you have the money to spend thousands on a really good chain system and you can hire a professional to help you set it up, I would say strongly avoid that kind of stuff. At most, get a large, clean mixer. Past that, there's no reason, unless you have the money to hire someone and the money to put up a proper studio and have backup power and all this kind of stuff. It's a much bigger deal than just having the rack and then the various different systems. So I would steer away from that until you're banking extra every month doing voiceover. Steer away from that. Don't even ask that question. Totally irrelevant. But let's see. Any tips on getting your first gig? First gig in voiceover, I assume. I mean, duh. But are we talking on a particular platform? Or because your first gig is going to be easiest on a platform. It's going to be very, very easy. Oh, by the way, hi, Rob. I don't know why it took so long. And hello, Benjamin. And hello, Jackson, and everybody else who just showed up. As far as getting your first gig, it depends on the platform. Doing it off a platform is going to be a whole lot easier. Because otherwise, you're going to have to do cold calling, cold mailing, that kind of thing. And I hate cold calling, cold mailing. It's quite aggravating. It's quite annoying, and it's incredibly hard to get noticed nowadays. A lot of people, considering every single website, every single program, and every single requires you to sign up with an email. Everyone is basically getting aggravated with spam. Everyone's getting bogged down with spam. And so some people have work email and some people have like email that they just use to sign up for stuff. So sometimes it's hard to find the right email that isn't just going to send you straight through spam. And I don't like hounding or pestering people. I do know some people who've made a living off that kind of thing, off that kind of process, but it's never really worked for me. I've tried emailing and cold calling multiple hundred times, and I don't think I've ever gotten anything off of it. So your best bet is going to be through things like voices.com, which I think you mentioned, Fiverr, castingcall.club. And the majority of it, the biggest chunk of it, is going to be your demo. It's going to be your demo. It's your calling card. It's the foot in the door. It's your introduction. It's your hi, how are you? So if you have a good demo, and so you have a good demo, it's either produced professionally by you, professionally by someone else, what have you, then you're going to have to put it on basically every single platform, every single one. And this is going to mean that you're going to need to basically sign up for every single, voiceover platform. But, and I've said this many times, you don't want to pay for the memberships. Avoid paying for the memberships, being on there, and then making sure that your contact and all your information and your demos are all on there. And that's basically going to be how you're going to get your first gig, is eventually you're either going to see an audition or someone is just going to message you. And that is going to be the easiest way. There are tons of places to go and audition. The two ways you get work is auditioning. No, 3 ways. Is auditioning, networking, and having your demos available. So I would kind of say that the demos being readily available and easy to find plus networking are kind of the same, but one is more active, the other one's proactive. Passive and active, let's say that. One of them is passive and active. So one of them is you put the demo up there and you have it on a platform that Google recommends or is highly rated on Google, where a lot of people are going to find, and you make it easy to find your demos, and someone's going to see it and someone's going to contact you. Networking is you going and talking to people, you being within groups, finding animators, finding game makers, and basically kind of marketing yourself. And then the other one is doing auditions, and that would be, on the platforms like castingcall.club, voices.com, that kind of thing. So it's kind of hard to say for sure, but that's really it. That's those 3 ways. And eventually something will come to you. I hope that helps. If you have any more specific questions, leave them down below. Just wanted to say thank you for the advice with my character demo. Okay, my pleasure. It really helped out. Right now, I am still at college studying acting, but after... Oh, are we getting some lag? Looks like we're getting some lag. But after I finish, I'm going to admit loss. What? Let me read this again. I don't think I understand. Right now, I'm still at college studying acting, but after I finish, I'm going to be a bit lost. Oh, okay, a bit lost. Sorry, my dyslexia really threw me for a loop there. I was like, why would you admit loss? Wow. Y'all watch my brain break in real time. Any advice? I'm assuming on the just the finding work and that kind of thing. Well, kind of the same thing that I was saying before. I hope you're not going to be in debt after college, because you would have spent that. You should have spent that money doing on the thing that you actually want to do. You should have actually spent that, because you don't need college for voice acting. Absolutely do not need college for voice acting. And I actually have a video that I recorded, which was like 40-something minutes long. It's a rant on the education system. It's a rant on college and all this kind of stuff. Basically, the only time you should go to college is for technical things or medical or law. When it comes to the arts, it's not really necessary anymore, and you would have been better off saving that money, and not going into debt, and spending that money on your studio, on your demos, on taking specific coaching. Because there's no studio I've ever talked to for doing voiceover that has ever required me to show credentials as far as like any kind of degree or any kind of level of education. They've never required that. It's always been my demo and my resume has been my citing credentials, has been my ticket, has been the thing that they've required me to show. Outside of that, it really doesn't matter. So, essentially, you should be taking coaching, but first off, you need to figure out what area of voiceover you specifically want to go into. Yes, you're going to be auditioning for everything, but you need to find what specific area you want to go into. Whether if it's video game, anime, cartoon, find that area and then go and find specific coaches for those areas. Because there is a good chance, no guarantee, I don't want anyone going into this thinking there's a guarantee, but there's a good chance that you could go into the coaching, and by showing that you can take instructions, that you're not full of yourself, because there's been a lot of people that have come to me asking for advice and then just basically trying to flex on me the whole time, and they don't actually know what they're talking about. And I'm like, yeah, I'm never going to hire you if that was your goal. But sometimes there are, people that will put in a good word for you, or they are currently doing a project and they've seen that you can take instructions, that you are good at voice acting, and they will kind of throw you a bone. That is possible. Do not expect it, but it is possible. So, that would have actually been way better than going to college. Let's see. I use voices.com, I assume. Sorry, late to the show. Totally fine. I was late to the show as well because I had no plan or expectation. I actually tried 3 days ago to get a gig in a real small project audition for 2 characters, but it didn't work out. Not sure what you mean by try to get a gig. I'm assuming auditioning. Yeah, that's going to happen. Like you're going to, if you're doing a good job and you're auditioning every single, week, every single day, there's going to be so many projects you are just not going to, land. And that's not going to be your fault. It's just like you just weren't the voice or the performance that they had in mind. That's it. And you don't know what's in their mind. So every single time you audition is going to be a gamble. Sup, buddy? How's it going, Greg? Search engines are your friend. Yep. Google, Google yourself and see what shows up. I mean, yeah. After a certain point, I wouldn't Google yourself. If you become like more popular or more famous, then I would definitely stop Googling yourself, because sometimes you don't want to know what people are saying about you. But yeah, after you've been on a lot of different networks, lots of different social media platforms, definitely see what comes up. One thing that I've noticed is that if I just Google my actual name, more people that aren't me show up, because there are some lawyers, there's some dentists, and there's a group of pet hospitals that go by the same Timothy or Timmy Banfield, and so more often than not, I use Funny Guy Timmy. That's one of the reasons that I use Funny Guy Timmy so much, because I am literally the only Funny Guy Timmy. So, awesome. Thanks. My pleasure. Any success I've had in voiceover is in large part acting on the wait, what? Is it a question? Any success I've had in VO is in large part acting on the advice from... Oh, okay. Okay, from me. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I didn't know what I was like. Is this a question? What are we asking? Well, I'm glad I've helped. If that is in fact what's being said here. I think did someone message me? Is this related? No, it's not related. Yeah. Definitely acting is more important than how many voices you can do. Even though I do a crap ton of voices, I often end up actually only doing maybe 20 or 50 of them on a regular basis, kind of just on a loop. There's really only so many voices that I actually end up getting hired to do. But for the most part, people do see, people see that I have a large lineup, but they end up a lot of variety when it comes to voices, and they end up just picking one that they like that fits their role, and it's often the same few ones. So it's more the acting more than anything. Yeah, not too much else that I can say on that. I would definitely say that improv, and I've said this many times, improv is significantly more valuable to voice acting than really anything else. Because if you're good at improv, you'll be able to kind of stay in character and kind of flow, run with the punches kind of thing. And that may end up benefiting you more in performance than most other kinds of training and most other kinds of things. I really appreciate the advice, bro. Again, thank you. Do you know a place where I can find good VA coaching? Again, it depends on what you're going into. It depends on the topic. It depends on the category. For example, and this is just because this is something that I've been looking into. There is a lot of... Okay, so my goal is to get more into anime. Not because it pays well. I know everyone's like, why would you want to get into anime? It doesn't pay very well. I do a lot of projects that don't pay all that well. I enjoy voiceover. Period. So there are a lot of people that direct or produce or do the voices themselves who have been in the field for a very long time who offer coaching. And these are the kind of people that I would want to, work with anyway. These are the kind of people that I would want to connect with. Now, essentially, there's a part of me that doesn't like this because essentially I'm paying to basically network with them, and I'm paying them to do mock auditions and do the fact that I already know that I can do many things within the area of that particular genre of voiceover, and I don't really need the coaching necessarily. It is something that I am looking into. So definitely, okay, so find a show that you think was produced well and voiced well. If this is anime or cartoon, find a show that you think is produced or voiced well. And then find the director, producer, and the lead cast and Google them. Find out if they offer coaching. If no one offers coaching or any kind of, one-on-ones or do any kind of classes, find another show that you like, do the same thing. And when you do, make sure it's someone that's been doing this for a while. If you find someone who does do coaching, go to their IMDb, because every single popular or main voice actor has, an IMDb. Look at their list of credits. Have they been doing this for a while? Do they look like they're getting work on a regular basis? They're successful. Listen to their stuff. Is it someone that you personally find talented? That might be your coach. That's definitely where I'd say go find them. Are you finally getting enough of a break to get some sleep? Was worried for a while. Yeah, I slept way too late today. Basically slept till 1 p.m., and I really shouldn't have. I forgot to set an alarm, and I just kept sleeping, which is one of the reasons I forgot to post a video. But I was up late the previous night, all through the night until the afternoon, where I did take a nap, still working on my book. So that kind of threw me off. So I'm not surprised that I have a weird sleep schedule right now. I'll probably be finishing the book tonight, hopefully. But I am getting some sleep. It's just been really goofy. Some days I get more sleep, some days I don't. It just kind of depends on how, once I get the ball rolling on anything, whether it's voice acting, whether it's editing, whether it's writing, once I get the ball rolling, I kind of forget to eat and I forget to sleep, which is a kind of a good thing because that means I'm focused on it. But it's also kind of a bad thing because I will forget to do important things. So you can do over 50 voices. Can't even do 3. Well over 50. Well over 50. But yes, I can do over 50. So what I would say, if you can only do 3, frickin' knock those 3 out of the park. However, I will say that you can always do 4 because there's always your own voice. There's always your own voice that's part of it, so you can always do that one. And then just knock those out of the park. Do a really, really, really good job. And sometimes you can take those 3 and change a variable about them, change them slightly, maybe add an accent, take away an accent, bring the pitch up or down, add some graveliness, and then you'll essentially have a different voice. So just work on those when you're by yourself. Just do funny, goofy voices that make yourself laugh, and you'll probably find more voices. Okay. Do you think it's possible to be a successful voiceover artist if your style is announcer only? That's interesting. Announcer only. I don't know many people who... What? No. I take that back. I'm actually going to... There's someone who I know who is announcer only, or strongly announcer. I'm trying to remember his name. I'm trying to find where's the best place to find his name. He's also on Fiverr, I believe, but I'm trying to find his stuff. He's always posting something on social media, so I'm hoping I can find him here. But he is also... Oh, here we go. Oh, yes. Someone I've been dying to work with because the guy's awesome. What's your first name? Was it Samson? Stephen Johnson. StephenJohnson. He has a very much announcer voice. He has a very deep presence, that kind of trailer voice. It's so rich. It's perfect. But he's done a lot of character work. I'm going to see if I can put this in here for people to see. Oh, that's a huge link. Jesus Christ. Is it even going to work? Okay. And he does do character work. It is possible to do. There's also John Bailey, who is the Epic Trailer voice guy. He's done things like Optimus Prime. He's done some voice matching for certain celebrities. You know, there's options. There's options. But if you're talking more of that like ringside announcer voice, again, like there's still tons of options. There's tons of people on YouTube that will hire for doing things that are a little bit more like tongue in cheek, where they get someone who is an announcer to do kind of like an over the top kind of read, or to be a little bit more hilarious or ironic. The independent market is going to be your friend. If you have a very unique voice, they're definitely going to be more your friend. But yeah, it is possible. You're amazing, Tim. Thank you. That 3 includes my voice. Oh, that includes your voice? Well, still, take those 2 and add to them. Move them around. Make them bigger. Hey, Timmy, do you use Spotify? I don't know how to use Spotify. As in, I know how to use Spotify, but I don't know if it's like so every time there's like a new platform, there's a new app, there's a new what have you, I don't know the difference between them and the other ones. And I don't want to just be on literally every single platform, because there's no way I'm going to be able to keep up. So I think, but I haven't used it in forever. If so, what is Spotify Rap? I don't know. I thought you meant rap as in R-A-P, but you didn't. So, Do you have a popular character you would love to do the voice? Oh, for example, Captain America. Wolverine, The Thing, Deadpool, because I've actually been doing Deadpool for a while. I want to say the Joker, just because I've gotten a lot of work doing parodies and Joker-like characters, but I feel like the Joker is like one of those characters that there's a lot of pressure, and people either love you or hate you. There's no middle ground on that one. Wolverine, there's a little bit more flexibility. Deadpool, also a little bit of flexibility. The Thing, lots of flexibility, because there's no like one person that you think of when it comes to the Thing. Also, the Thing is like one of the sweetest, nicest characters in all of Marvel. Yet at the same time, he's like the biggest bruiser, kind of like. Also, the idea of me doing someone who's incredibly huge would be hilarious. I would. There's a part of me that would rather do characters that hasn't been voiced yet. Or characters that aren't super popular. Characters that, there's a little bit more wiggle room. Like Calendar Man from the Batman Rogues Gallery. Or I would kind of like doing my own version of the Riddler would be pretty fun. Or the Mad Hatter. It's a real good question. I used to have a list, but that list has changed. I definitely wouldn't do more the I don't know, like the perfect hero types. Like Captain America, Superman, Batman. I definitely wouldn't do them. When I do Batman and Superman, I do not take them seriously. Or Captain America, I do not take them seriously, because I'm not the voice, and none of my voices would be the voice that you'd think of for these characters. And when it comes to Batman and Superman, I think they're kind of a joke at this point. they're kind of over the top. They have too much plot armor. The writers make them invulnerable and to everything, and they can never do wrong. And unless I got to write them, or the script was just really, really good, I wouldn't even bother. So, but yeah, that's my list. Stephen Johnson, got it. Thanks, my pleasure. Yeah, he is awesome. He is absolutely awesome. Also, a Spotify rap is a thing that Spotify does that shows the music you play in general. I don't know anything that you're saying. I guess I have no clue. During the year, I got nothing. I have no idea. I have no clue. I'm more of a Pandora kind of guy. Or actually nowadays, I mostly just listen to my music on YouTube. I just, type in, because there's more often that I can find the song that I'm thinking of or find the music that I like on YouTube than most any other platforms. And if there's a song that I really, really like, I can just put it on loop. I do that a lot when I'm writing. This is music that's just all instrumental and just put it on loop, or just find the really, really long version. And yeah, that's what I do. If I could jump in and answer your question too, a character I would like to do Spider-Man or Sonic. Yeah. Fun. I mean, obviously the Sonic, that's your that's your avatar. Hey Tim, what do you think is your niche when it comes to voice acting? What do you think you're most good at? Most good at. I would definitely say the more obscure and the more abstract voices. A lot of people don't go the full distance when it comes to some voices. They don't push as hard. They don't make them sound as ridiculous and silly as they should in order to make it sound good. Things like orcs, goblins, demons, big stupid aliens. The more crazy or insane stuff. The stuff that sounds the least like me is probably the stuff that's easiest for me. The less it sounds like me, the more unique the voice is. It's just in my opinion, and it's often the kind of stuff that people hire me the most to do. I can't think of anything in particular. There are some shows that haven't been made yet where I do like a gigantic bruising alien that's got like a really deep and yet psychotic sounding voice. I don't even know if I can talk about that one yet. There are, because I don't even think I've recorded for it yet. There are characters in video games that are like little like nurgling kind of tiny goblins that just make like those kind of noises. That's easy for me. There are characters that are kind of like the Joker that are just psychotic, that have crazy laughs. Apparently, I do a good laugh. Convincing laugh. A lot of people don't know how to laugh, apparently, when it comes to voiceover. They feel it's very awkward and, that they're not actually laughing, that it just sounds like they're going, ha, 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 ha. And I don't know. But that's the kind of stuff that I get hired the most for. So I would assume whatever I get hired the most for is the stuff that's my niche. It's also the stuff that I have the most fun with. So, yeah. I'll get some water real quick. Whoa. Sorry, getting dry. Let's see. Questions kind of stopped. How long have I been recording? Only 30 minutes. Really? Man, thought it would have been going on longer. Because normally these are like 2 hours. Let's see. See if there's more I can elaborate on one of these other questions. Because I do want to make sure that I answer these questions enough. I think we did a good job. I think we're doing a good job. think it's covered enough. If there's any topic that I covered that doesn't seem like I covered it well enough, let me know. But, let's refresh this. All right. Apparently, there's some people that do think that. I had a poll going on Twitter, seeing if people would actually like a paperback copy of the book when it's done. But here we go. Any plans for the holiday? Normally, no. I don't normally plan anything for the holiday other than hoping that for Christmas and Christmas Eve that I can relax and kind of like take it easy. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do that this year. I think it's literally going to be running the whole gambit of things. I will say that after Christmas, I will if the book is done, I will be going back to doing a whole bunch of auditions, and so I have like a number of I'm going to have to do this number of auditions before like the end of each month kind of thing. So, but that's goals. That's not plans. I had already spent time with my family. My family's never really celebrated Christmas on Christmas for a long time. Mostly just because of how terrible the economy is right now is one reason. So, we don't have the money to even, afford the gas, and we're pretty much not going to be buying each other any gifts, this year. There's a friend of ours who's going to make sure that the youngest in the family are doing well. But I don't know. I haven't normally planned anything in a long time. Now that you mention it, how do you laugh properly? Anyway, what? Properly. Anyway, I feel as though struggling with it. Well, first of all, you have to enjoy it. So it's kind of like the whole screaming or yelling thing that I know a lot of people, which is a constant thing. It blows my mind that everybody that I've coached, everyone who needs help, demo production, or just asking for advice, the main things is being loud, and laughing is one of them. I mean, you basically have to consider it very much like yelling and screaming. If you can't comfortably yell and scream without feeling embarrassed or without feeling like you're looking ridiculous, or without you feeling like you're hurting yourself and you end up pulling your back, then it's just not going to sound right. So when it comes to these things, you have to make sure that you give it your all. And for me, I genuinely enjoy, laughing as the character. I a lot of times I find it funny, and I enjoy the laugh. Some people don't enjoy laughing, and that's really, really weird. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why some people don't enjoy just laughing. I'll be walking around the house, and I'll just be talking to myself, and then just some random topic will be in my head, and I'll just be randomly thinking about something, and it'll just make me laugh, and I'll laugh out loud. No one said anything. No one did anything. And I just laugh. I just enjoy laughing out loud. I would definitely say... So here's one thing that I do see a lot, is that there's almost like this look in someone's eye when I'm helping them and I'm seeing them kind of, get ready to scream or laugh, or when they're supposed to hold a note or anything like that. I can see it in their eye that they're counting down to when they could stop. It's like they can't wait to stop. You shouldn't be waiting to stop. You shouldn't be, counting down to you no longer have to be screaming or laughing. Basically, do it as long as natural. Just let your body naturally tell you when to stop. Don't be thinking, okay, 1 Mississippi, 2 minutes, okay, now I'm done. That's too methodical. It's too It's unnatural. We don't do that. I don't know. That one's a tough one. I haven't been able to do a video on it because it is such a tough topic. I don't even know how to go about it because it is something that comes naturally to me. It's something that comes naturally to me that I don't even have to think about. It's very hard to break down into topics. Maybe I'll cover it again, or maybe if someone has like specific, like very specific questions or has a very specific issue, maybe then I'll be able to break it down. But I don't know. It's a hard one. Do you ever do any radio? I've done 3 radio interviews before. I think I've been interviewed 3 times. But I've never actually hosted a show. I've never pitched anything to a show. And I think there are some commercials I've done that were on radio, but I've never heard them. I've never listened to them. I'm not a huge radio guy, so I don't know. I wouldn't be against it, but it's not a huge thing that I do. As far as like radio imaging, more specifically. You ever thought about doing screen, stage, performance, capture, acting work? Performance capture, yes. I've done screen. I started out in stage. It's actually where I started. Performance capture is actually something that I'm looking into right now. It's part of my 5-year goal. I'm hoping that I can save up for a motion capture suit and get a good face rig, because it seems like, considering I'm not a really good hand-drawn animator, nor am I a really good keyframe animator, it seems like the best way that I could get some of my ideas out there. I already have some classes on like Udemy and stuff like that on using various different, like Unreal or what's the other one? There's Unreal and there's Blender, using different programs like that and all that kind of stuff. So I have that kind of stuff stored, and it is a plan of mine. I would love to do performance capture. I think there are 2 projects where they actually captured my face when I was doing the voiceover. They wanted me to like film my face for, and there's a video game, I don't remember what it was called, where they actually got my face for something. It might have actually been Sleep Tight. That might have actually been it. The VR horror game where you're like in bed and you got a flashlight and there's a little teddy bear. I do the voice of the teddy bear, and I think they also wanted me to do face capture for something. And so they just had me, use my phone, high resolution, and then they had me like do like a full like 360 of my face, mouth open, mouth closed, all that kind of stuff, so they could rig something up. It was very crude. It wasn't an elaborate rigging, and it wasn't a photorealistic, like photo scan kind of thing. But I've kind of done that, and it is something that I've been looking into. Every now and then when I go through like a video game, used video game store, I'm constantly looking at the Xbox Connect cameras, because apparently you can take a couple of those and set them up for like some very crude motion capture stuff that you may have to do some tweaking and some cleanup for. But I've very much been interested in that kind of thing, which is one of the reasons that I'm glad that I did finally get a Lav that has an interchangeable mic system, so I could hook in a headset. So it's something that I'm working into, and it is something that I would love to do a lot of. I'd love to do more of. As far as like screen, I haven't done too much of that lately. I haven't done stage in forever, not even stand-up comedy. So, have you seen the Unreal game trailer yet? Which one? Are you talking? Wait, what are we talking about? Do you mean like the Unreal Engine? Oh, the Matrix one. Oh, okay. Yeah. I saw a bit of that. I didn't know what it was at first. I was like, I didn't know it was an actual game. I thought it was just like some kind of like marketing advertisement for the upcoming Matrix movie. But then I did see like some gameplay, and I'm like, really? And I still don't know if it's real. I didn't dig too deep into it. But yeah, Unreal is a beast, and I can imagine in the next 5 years it being used. I mean, it's already used for film and for TV show and for video game, and it's right now it's the most popular video game engine. It's freaking gorgeous. Does lighting and effects and particle and that kind of stuff like really, really well. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's that kind of stuff that is making what we do, voice acting and acting, a whole lot easier and a whole lot more fun and a whole lot more profitable. A program like that's free, essentially, that has lots of possibility and that's easy for content creators to use and to make stuff with, means that, especially if it's free and it's doing like a good job of like doing the things that you want it to do, gives them time and saves their money and resources so that they can hire actors. So that is one thing that I'm very optimistic about. And also the metahuman thing looks great. Looks absolutely great. So that kind of stuff I'm excited for. Which kind of goes back to the topic of the AI voice thing. So even though programs and AI are getting better at recreating humans, I don't think they're going to be, to a point where they're going to, completely do personality and voice. So no matter how good something looks, I think we're still going to be in the job. So, can you tell us your acting origin story? Like a superhero. Like what inspired you to start and stuff? So I actually got into plays when I was younger, school plays, stuff like that. I think the first play I ever did was, I think it was just like the Three Little Pigs for school or something like that. And there was no script. Kids were too young to memorize a script. And I'm always incredibly comfortable on stage. That is, unless I'm doing like stand up and I can tell no one cares. No one cares who I am. No one cares that I'm trying to make them laugh. People hate me for trying to make them laugh, which has happened many, many times, especially nowadays, which is why I stopped doing stand up comedy. If I'm just like performing or I'm just getting to be myself, I'm incredibly comfortable. It doesn't matter how large the crowd is. And I've always had that. And so there was one time, and this was kind of the moment that I was like, I could do this for a living. It was, I think I was like the pig with sticks or something like that. And the wolf was supposed to come over and blow it down. We had these big cardboard cutouts. We're holding them up. They got handles. They got this big window, and it's supposed to like, oh, you blew it over, and then you like let it fall. While I'm there, I see the first kid and he lets it fall forward, and I'm like, why don't I could just let it fall backwards? It's got this huge window. I'll just go right through it. It'll be hilarious. Because I'm thinking of like cartoons and, Three Stooges and Charlie Chaplin, that kind of stuff. So kid wolf comes over, blows the house, and I let it go, let it fall this way a little bit, and let it go, and I duck, and it goes right over me perfectly. And my back is to the audience, and I'm just like this, and I'm hearing laughter from adults. And I'm like, that's the best feeling in the world. This is the greatest. And like the kid as wolf is like looking off the stage. He's like, I don't know what to do. And I'm just, and I run off. And it was so funny. I laughed. I loved it. They laughed. They loved it. And that was kind of like the first time I was like, I could do this. And so since then, I have been kind of like, after that hunt for making people laugh or entertaining people or making sure that other people are enjoying what I do as many times as possible, as much as I can. And, in everything I do. So I did clowning, I did puppeteering, I did I've done all kinds of stuff. Stage acting, tried to get into singing, and then eventually I found voice acting and stand-up comedy and, acting and writing, and those are my things. The stand-up comedy has been pushed off to the side just because there's not really a lot of venues I can go to where they don't require masks and don't require. There's what I mean by is there's some that require that you mask up while you're on stage, like the comedian who is already 20 feet away from everybody, who are all scattered around. They won't let more than like 20 people in this huge venue, and they want you to wear the mask, and they got a cover over the microphone, and I'm like. I'm not going to get on the stage and pretend like I'm radioactive. I'm not going to do that, especially nowadays, considering people are getting so offended over really everything. And I don't do offensive humor. I don't do political humor, and it was just getting too much. So I was like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till this is all done or blown over. And if it doesn't blow over, then I'll just, I guess I'm a writer now. But that's that. Hey, man, how is it going? It's going pretty good. It's doing okay. But it's getting dry a little bit again. But also, as far as like the whole screen acting, I think the last few projects that I've done where it was screen acting, it was like for commercials. It was probably some of the worst and most awkward experiences I've ever had since all this has been going around. I come to set. I've already taken a test beforehand. I come to set. They test me while I'm there. Everyone's social distancing, washing our hands. Those who are just like, the grips or the audio people or anyone who's not, most people are wearing masks. It's all fine. Everyone's social distancing. Everyone's wearing masks. All that kind of stuff. It's all good. And, I didn't have to wear a mask because I got makeup on, and and the only person who's really allowed anywhere near me is the makeup person, which was kind of awkward, but I was like, okay. And I get to set, and it's inside this house, and I go in, and I first walk in, and there's these like rooms adjacent to the front door, and there's all these people like there, and there's all the equipment, and there's Studio Village and all this kind of stuff. And then I go through this sound blanket curtain and the open area where they've set up everything, and there is nobody in there. There's absolutely nobody in there. And it's not that they're going to be in there later. They've set up everything to be 100% remote with a camera, an iPad for the director, the boom overhead, and it's just me. And it was incredibly awkward, especially considering the director wasn't even in the same state. He was like in Florida or something, like Florida or New York. And so we kept losing signal with him. And he's also getting instructions from LA, the studio and the producer, who's giving him feedback to give to me. It's going back and forth, and he kept losing connection, and it's just the whole time, and there's nobody there. The energy is dead in the room, and they set up a walkie-talkie off to one corner that the assistant director is feeding me lines with. But here's the thing. It's like I can hear him in the other room before it comes through on the walkie-talkie. I want to be like, just throw away the walkie, just say the line. I can hear you. And so that made it weird. So I'm trying to so I'm hearing him first say it, and I'm about to say it, and then I hear it through the radio, and it was making everything like awkward and weird, and it was horrible. It was absolutely a horrible experience. Did I get paid well? Yeah. Did the commercial come out? Was it fine? Yeah. Do I care? No. It was terrible. I would rather do small projects that is fun than to have all this scrutiny. And anytime I work with big studios and producers, they're incredibly anal about everything. there's been a couple commercials that I've done that were incredibly funny on paper and incredibly funny when me, the director, and the other actors were working on it. But then the studio comes in and they ruin everything. There's a couple commercials where they didn't want me to act as silly and as stupid as my character was supposed to be on paper, because he was supposed to be an idiot. They're like, we don't want people who actually have mental, who have any kind of brain damage or any kind of mental issue thing that we're making fun of. And I was like, well, I'm not. This character's just a moron. It was like, and I have no problem offending morons. It's like, what are you talking about? And they just kept toning it down to the point that it wasn't funny anymore. And I always hate that kind of stuff. And so most of the time, I've just been focusing on voiceover with small studios, small projects, because it's more fun to work with them. I can't remember my first play I did as a kid, but I remember finding voiceover after I played The Last of Us. Oh, okay. Hearing voiceover in The Last of Us, the good Last of Us game. I've always wanted to be an actor, but that was the moment kind of fixed doing voice acting. Okay. Yeah. For me, as far as like video game, it would probably be Resident Evil 4 that I properly understood the format. But yeah, there's genuine acting in The Last of Us. There's genuine acting. There's genuine skill being put on display. Yeah, it's a great introduction to voice acting, motion capture, all that kind of stuff in general. But yeah. Well, Crazy Ninja, thank you for being here. Thank you for the questions. Hope I helped anything. And if y'all don't see a video at 10 a.m. on Saturdays, there's a good chance that I'll be doing a live stream. However, let me see. I don't want to give people false hope. I might do one more video or live stream on the 18th, and then for the rest of the year, and then a chunk of the following month, I'll probably be taking some time off. So yeah, but I'll know more later. I might post the education and college one to be the last real video of the year. I might do that. That was a good one. But yeah, peace out. Good luck. Godspeed. And wish you the best. And it's got like 3 minutes left before we reach an hour, and then I'll probably call it quits as well. I think an hour is good. Any shorter than an hour, and I feel like it's a waste of opportunity for people to come in and ask. Anything longer than that, I'm okay with, but, if there's no activity, then. How many videos do you have recorded but not edited? I could actually look that up. So there's a whole bunch of videos that I have recorded that I actually I'm not sure if I should post. Mostly just because there's a lot of reaction and reviews that I'm not confident with. Mostly because some of them are on people that I don't want to seem like I'm attacking them. Let's see. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 videos that I have not edited. Some of them I may never post. Maybe 15 or 16. I don't know. There's some that I may never post, just because they're not, they're either not educational or they're not entertaining. There was some videos, and I think I talked about this on another live stream. There was some videos from Gift of Gab that somebody wanted me to react. Multiple people wanted me to react to, And they weren't as entertaining as Sea Dog VA. I believe that they were educational, but I didn't know at the time. I surpassed Gift of Gab as far as like number of subscribers. And there's a part of me that really doesn't want to seem like I'm coming down on someone or punching down. Not that, she's less professional than me or her stuff is less professional. I just want to make sure that there's nothing like that that's happening. Just because, I don't want to do that. I want to add to a conversation. I don't want to take away. I don't want to try to seem like I'm smothering the voice of someone else. There was just like 2 videos that seemed kind of vague, or seemed like there was some things not answered that I kind of wanted to either ask, basically almost as a direct message to her, or things that I knew the answer to that I wanted to add clarity to. So I may still post those. I'm not sure. But then I have some stuff that were kind of some behind the scenes that I feel like the time has passed. Some of them, so there's some behind the scenes voiceover stuff that I've recorded for video games or shows that I've done. Some of them, the games, what I recorded may or may not have spoilers. And then there's other stuff where where it's like Cartoon Hooligans, where the video's been out for a very, very long time. It was a long time ago. So there's not, like, the time has kind of passed, and I don't really feel like it was a new character that anyone would benefit from. If it's a new character or it's a new kind of project, maybe, to show some variety. But if it's just me doing the same character, reading the same kind of lines, I don't really feel like there's any benefit to it. So there's various different reasons. The Last of Us was amazing in terms of acting. Yes, it was. What's your opinion on dub voice acting? Personally, I feel like we haven't had an amazing dub since Cowboy Bebop. I'm going to challenge that a little bit. As far as like TV shows, I would probably agree. I would say there's very little. Maybe ones like oh crap, I can't do it. Shows like, oh, how dare you do this to me? I'm gonna have to look at my list if I want to find it. Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to think. So, but as far as like dub movies, there are tons of dubbed movies that I feel like I personally think are better as far as acting than Cowboy Bebop. There's no shade being thrown at Cowboy Bebop. I love Cowboy Bebop. I think it's some of the best performances. Some of the best performances in far as like OG anime dubbing, period. Nowadays, and I don't think that this is I don't think it's a slant on anime dubbing. I think it's more on animes themselves. What I mean by that is, so Japan, their marketing, their story structure, the shows that they produce are a little bit different than how we produce stuff. Not by a lot, but I mean, every single market, once they get into a rhythm, once they start, they find a thing that is easy to produce or is successful or what have you, makes the most money on some level, they kind of go hard into that. That's why you see a lot of American cartoon shows that have that same kind of very smooth, puppet rigged cartoons. Things like, Adventure Time, things like Rick and Morty, or, what was it? Wander Over Yonder, Teen Titans Go. Tons of shows that basically just have these puppet rigged cartoons. where it's not hand-drawn anymore, and they all have very simple, smooth shapes. And it's very... They all start to kind of blend together, and I don't really like that kind of thing, but it's something that the studios in America have kind of like seen as an easy cash grab. It's easier to produce. It's easier to write that kind of format. It's easier to kind of create that kind of show. Japan is very similar. So there are a lot of between the difference between the 80s and 90s and now is very, very different. It's very, very different. And I don't really think that they make shows like they used to. And that's not to say that there aren't still good shows. It's just, it's very different. So in that category, in the old 80s and 90s style anime, yes, Cowboy Bebop is unique. I would still say it's still unique today, but it's still really, really good. And as far as like dubbing now, I would say there's more movies that are being dubbed, anime movies that are being dubbed. Things like Your Name, Weathering with You, and Garden of Words, I think are amazing dubs, especially Garden of Words, which focuses more on acting rather than voice acting. What I mean by that, or acting rather than just dubbing, because when it comes to dubbing, your goal is to match the performance and the timing of what you see on screen. But in Garden of Words, they kind of don't really match the timing all that accurately. There's times when the voice kind of drifts over past when the character stopped talking or ends before the character's mouth stops moving. And there's one key scene at the very end specifically, or close to the very end, the key emotional moment where if you watch the characters and listen to the words very carefully, like watch over it multiple times, you'll see that the mouth animation doesn't match up with the words. But they focused the performance on it. And so in a small way, it's not technically dubbing in the traditional sense, but it's still really, really good. So there are some studios that are still killing it when it comes to performances. Modern action-based shows, even though that they are matching the lip flaps perfectly, they are, kind of, really going along with what they're seeing on screen. I don't think they're as good, but I don't think it's necessarily them. I think it's more just the kinds of animes that are being produced nowadays are just not the same as they were before. So it's kind of hard to say if it's bad dubbing or if it's just not the same anymore. By the way, you've been live for 90 minutes so far. Not really? Huh. It's not what my program is saying. That's weird. Huh. That is weird. Maybe it's just been cutting in and out down here. I don't know. But cool. Good. You guys getting more of your money's worth. But yeah, that's probably going to be it. If there's no more questions, I'm probably just gonna wrap it up here because my voice is kind of going away, and I might have to do a little bit of voiceover. But I'll probably just get back to writing. So anyway, yeah, it's gonna be it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll try to have one more video before the end of the year, and then after that, I'll be taking a break. Maybe I'll do a video and a live stream just to say, just to wrap up the year. But for now, that's probably going to be it. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Cheers. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful. Hope I answered people's questions. Hope it was entertaining. And I wish you all the absolute best. Enjoy your holidays if I don't see you before then. And make sure to actually take some time off. Make sure to actually spend time with family and actually, chill. Because we need that every now and then. This job can get stressful, and I hope it's not too stressful. But yeah, that's going to be it. So thank you guys for watching.